Hey kids, you're listening to a couple of annoyed grunt boys, and this is the 138th Simpsons podcast. That's right, we're the Simpsons podcast that discusses the beloved animated sitcom The Simpsons from seasons 11 and beyond, and the newest episodes when they air. Why do we do it this way? Well, plenty of other podcasts have discussed the golden age, that being seasons 1 through 10, and technically we've already reviewed all of season 11, so we're more of a 12 and beyond podcast. And one of the other reasons why we do it like that is because we want to find gold in the more modern era. I know modern era from 11 and beyond is weird because that was 30 years ago, but still, we want to know if there's awesome Simpsons episodes that can match those classic, original 10. And I say we because I'm Annoyed Grunt Boy Craig.
And I'm Annoyed Grunt Boy Steve.
All right, Steve. I think we just need to get on with this week's episode because I got a couple letters we should read off. So let's just open the mailbag real quick, okay?
Sounds good.
First one we have is from our friend overseas in the good old island of Ireland. It's an island, right?
Yeah, that's why it's called Ireland.
Do you think the next Jurassic Park movie should be on Ireland?
Ooh, that'd be fun.
They just send the dinosaurs to Ireland and then deal with all the Irish people have to deal with the dinosaurs. I would watch that Jurassic Park movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You're the best color commentator on podcasting, Steve, with that.
I'm sorry, I had a little technical difficulty there. No, I think going to great old Ireland, dinosaurs are green. Ireland has green people. Yeah, it makes sense.
All right. Well, that's not the email, but Dave from Ireland sent us a message here. Says, what's up, DoFficial Bros? Oh, yeah, we're also the DoFficial Simpsons podcast. I always forget to mention that.
Right.
He comments that episode 380 is missing from Spotify. And looking into that, yes, it is missing. I think that had to do with copyright issues with Spotify. My suggestion to Spotify listeners is if you're still using Spotify, fine. But you can also sign up on patreon.com. And I know it's $5 a month, but it's these episodes, the main feed episodes, are always posted on Patreon. So even if you're not a paid member of Patreon, you can still get the weekly episodes via Patreon.
And you can also usually copy the URL link from the Patreon into your podcatching app of preference, like if you're using Apple Music or whatever, to get it
or Spotify,
directly into your feed. Yeah.
So Spotify can't get rid of Patreon episodes. And another one, of course, is YouTube. YouTube has like podcasting. I don't have the app. I'm not sure how it works, but we are on YouTube, and I think most of our listeners are on YouTube. So thank you, YouTube listeners. And our episodes don't specifically drop on a specific time on YouTube. Usually it's somewhere around the weekend because there's a whole like copyright thing that I got to get through YouTube. So we try to post it on Thursday. Like it's always scheduled to post like right away, like on Thursday. But sometimes it takes a while for it to then drop on YouTube. But usually it's up there. So YouTube has all the episodes. I don't think any episode's been kicked off. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think we're good on YouTube. Spotify iffy. But Patreon is there. Older episodes is another thing for Patreon. We haven't like put up the entire catalog of our podcast on Patreon yet. So to new listeners, that's probably a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of YouTube, we do have a YouTube commenting on the Simpsons episode, but they said, best Simpsons podcast. About time someone gave seasons after 10 a chance. There are only so many analysis videos on Marge vs. Monorail a man can stand. Thank you. And that's from Marco Estrado 2891. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I'm always afraid to look at the YouTube comments. Like every podcaster, we're always afraid to look at comments or emails just because we're nervous of it's just going to be like, fuck you guys, you suck, which there is a lot of that. But, most people don't want to hear their reviews. It's just comment. Like, yes, we want constructive criticism, but we also like dialogue. And speaking of dialogue, of course, we love our patrons because they give us some nice feedback. Recently, we had a conversation, I think last week's episode, about how we should come up with like a 22 episode of like taking 11 and beyond and finding like 22 episodes and put them together in a package of like 22 episodes and then giving to like old school Simpsons fans and being like, oh, you think Simpsons sucks now? Well, watch these and pretend this is like a magical season and you'll be blown away. And so one of our patron listeners, Anthony, says that he likes this idea. And he said, but I think the idea would be best if 2 20-episode seasons, one for the standard definition era and one for the HD era. And I thought that was such a good idea because it would look cohesive. And I forget when the turnover happens. Is it around like 21 or 22?
Yeah, it's round about there.
Okay. And then also brings up like the limitations, like have a treehouse, have a Christmas episode, etc. And then you can assemble those custom seasons. And I think that's a brilliant idea. And so I thought for this little dialogue before we get to the episode, let's put some parameters of this idea. So already he's mentioned Treehouse of Horror and a Christmas episode. So yes, those are definitely would have to be part of that 22 episode season. So we have 20 more episodes to come up with our parameters.
Okay.
I have a couple ideas. I think you have to have a Marge and Homer relationship episode where things are shaky.
100%. I think that is required of any season, sometimes multiple times in a season. I also think, and this episode that we're going to talk about today might make it on the list. I don't know. But I think you need a trilogy episode outside of the Treehouse of Horror.
Okay. I think, what about having a Sideshow Bob episode?
Oh, yes. That's, we don't see a ton of them in the modern era, but I do think we can definitely need that. I also think we need a guest star heavy musical episode, like with a musician of some sort.
I think we also need like a very strong season opener. Now, I'm not saying like the season opener needs to be an episode 1 of a season. Like we could find like an episode within, like it was like the 17th episode, but it would make like a great season opener. And like the parameters of the season opener should be like maybe school related episode.
Yeah.
And then like a good strong season finale that could maybe feel like it's wrapped up the Simpsons. Like it would be a fine, like if this was the season finale or a series finale, just to like give a nice like completed episode or a season.
Yes, I like that. I think also we need to like have some episodes that are set in certain places. Like I think we need a really like strong like Springfield Elementary heavy episode with like a lot of the school children, like kind of more of a Bart and Lisa focused episode.
What about The Simpsons Are Going To episode?
Ooh.
I mean, most of those are not fan favorites, but if we could find one to include, I'm thinking off the top of my head, if there is a Simpsons Are Going To episodes, like, I mean, in honesty, is it like the Australia one only? That's the only one that's really good.
Homer went to Chicago. That one was good.
I don't remember that one.
They went to Canada. That was good.
We'll have to review those episodes.
Yeah.
How about, I think there needs to be Bart and Lisa teaming up episode. There has to be something like that. What about like dynamics, like a Marge and a Bart episode?
Yes, I think that definitely a Marge and a Bart. And also maybe a Homer and Lisa, because that's always a fun comparison. Like, that's a fun duo, too.
I think we have to have, like, an Abe-centric episode.
And also a Moe, maybe not a Moe episode, but an episode that takes place largely at Moe's.
I think, no, like a Moe, like a Moe-centric and maybe a Krusty-centric. You need those two characters. Do we dare put in a Pooh episode in?
Ooh, yeah, I think, when you're talking about, like, the B-tier Simpsons characters, I mean, I know that we don't see them a lot, and for obvious reasons, but Pooh is, like, I think pretty solid. So, yeah, I think...
And then...
Yeah, I think...
Speaking of the tiers of Springfield, maybe you have to have a Mr. Burns heavy episode as well.
Yeah. Also, I think we need an episode where we have a big guest star who doesn't play themselves.
All right. This is challenging. I don't know how many we've listed, probably close to a dozen so far. Mm-hmm. But I think if you find a lot of similarities of like episodes, obviously the Homer Marge relationship stuff, I think we only needed one of those, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Is there any other, you said trilogy type stories, which are not my favorites either, but there should be some good ones out there that old school fans would appreciate. And that used to be just Treehouse of Horror. So I don't know. That's if we're going with the Simpsons tropes, we might have to include that. What about? I think there should be one that has like a really good Itchy and Scratchy. I know that's not like a main
but I think
storyline, but I feel like you need to have. Well, hopefully that'll be like in an episode of Itchy and Scratchy. But
I think that these are really good parameters. I'm trying to think of like anything else, like any other characters that were like kind of missing, or any other like beats that we often see that we haven't like really discussed.
But do we add like canon episodes? Like would we have to include like the death of Maud Flanders, just so like when we see like that's another one, a Flanders centric episode I think would be important too.
I propose, I like what you're saying. I propose that we have like for each of the seasons or for each 22 we have like one canon changing episode. So that's maybe like Apu and Manjula having kids, or like you say, Krabappel passing, or Maud passing, or Milhouse and Kirk, or Luann and Kirk getting back together. Something that basically changes like the history of the Simpsons world. Or
not at all, because that's could be challenging too. I think what Anthony's saying about the standard definition era, so really like 11 to, I don't know, we'll say like something 20, will be a lot easier. But when we're kind of talking about the high def era, that's going to be the tough one.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of the newest seasons, it's almost like you could do like the teenage Simpsons, and when I mean like Simpsons teens is like the 13 through 19, like pick the teen years, and then like Simpsons in their 20s and the Simpsons in their 30s.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to pick from like decades, maybe.
That could work, yeah.
Yeah. Because it would, yeah, I 100% agree. Like it would seem weird if we're watching an old standard definition, and then the next episode in our imaginary season is high def. So I like how there's challenging ones. And then just for fun, do we do worst season ever and pick like 22 of the worst episodes?
That could be fun.
Again, with standard definition and high def.
I feel like that could actually be kind of.
So it's more fun to come up with the negative stuff than the positive. It's like, all right, Craig's picks for evil season. It's all the Musk who came to Earth, the Elon Musk episodes, and Lady Gaga episode, of course, which we haven't reviewed yet. So maybe we like it, and we haven't watched it yet. Maybe this episode that we're going to be talking about will be part of one of these collections. We don't know. We'll have to watch it. So thanks again to our listeners. If we haven't got around to any comments yet, we apologize. We read them all. But let's just get on with this week's episode, Steve. Let's get into the mindset and go back to the year 2012. It's January 29th, 2012. This is the last year of mankind because we all died in the following December. So, Steve, what was the number one movie in the box office?
Why, it wasn't the blue, because it was the gray.
Is that G-R-A-Y or G-R-E-Y?
I think it's E-Y.
All right. We're not British in this. That's right. It's a Liam Neeson movie in which his plane crashes in Alaska, and so he uses his penis for shelter and survives the winter. No. 6 oil workers are led by a skilled huntsman for survival, but a pack of merciless wolves haunts their every step. Steve, did you ever watch The Gray?
I've never seen The Gray. Have you?
Yeah, I watched it. I think it's slow and not as exciting as you hoped it to be. I think it's one of those things like he's just going to be fighting wolves the whole time, but it's just at the end. If I remember correctly, in spoilers, like I don't think he dies, but you don't see it. I think it's like he's down to his like last breath and facing off with a wolf, and then like the movie fades to black. If I remember correctly, it's been a while, but it's a movie.
Yeah, The Gray fades to black. Okay.
Yeah, right. And I'm assuming maybe in my mind that the wolf and Liam Neeson put their differences aside and they saw each other and they maybe opened up and they maybe shared their heart. Well, maybe the wolf ate his heart, but, maybe they found
affection.
Affection. That's the right word.
And it's amazing because nothing becomes between Liam and his underpants, his CK underpants.
Well, I was going to go with more of like the wolf was his Hobbes to his Calvin.
Yes.
And Steve, what was the hottest song of that week?
It was We Found Love by Rihanna featuring Calvin Harris.
I think we mentioned it before, but the name Calvin Harris doesn't sound like
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm Calvin Harris, here to sing with you, Rihanna.
It sounds pretty nerdy, actually, kind of like us in high school. Like, we didn't find love.
Yeah, like if Rihanna, if a girl like Rihanna existed in our high school, we'd have like zero chance with her. Like we would just be stuck being tots who were by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we would have like got her attention if we played a musical instrument, like maybe that had some white things on them and some, I don't know what they would call the white poundy things.
Yes.
See, what was the hot rock? Oh, and a darker shade of gray. Yes. Poundy keys. See, what was the hot rock alternative for that week?
It was Lonely Boys by the Black Keys.
That's like the only Black Keys song I know. Hold on, Steve. I said a lot of words recently in this intro. It's pretty long, so I need to take a sip from what's here in my palm.
Luckily, there's a beverage in your digits, and you're pretty faithful to your beverages.
I sure am. You could say I have hungry eyes for my beverages. That's a stretch for this one. Steve, what was the hot country song of the week?
Drink in My Hand by Eric Church.
So, Hungry Eyes, Eric Carmen. Yeah, Eric Carmen, right?
Yeah.
Not Eric Cartman. That's what I was about to say. The South Park kid. Okay. Well, Steve, this one's tough.
Yeah. We're talking about Rihanna and we're talking about being lonely, but we're not lonely anymore. And it's because, I have to thank the act of admiration, the act of amour, if you will.
There we go.
Because if not for that, then we'd be alone with our dicks in our hand.
If we were alone with dicks in our hand and named Raymond, what would we yell to our wife?
Deborah, Cox.
What was the hot dance song for that week?
It was If It Wasn't for Love by Deborah Cox.
All right, I think that was one of the worst ones we've done of this bit. Steve, we are dragging this intro a lot longer than we should have. I just had too much fun talking about this whole concept of the imaginary season. So thanks to our listeners for bringing that up, giving us spark of creativity. That's what helps us. So let's just get on with this week's. We're talking about Mo Goes From Rags to Riches, in which Mo's bar rag explains that he started as a medieval tapestry 1,000 years earlier. Then in the B story, Bart tries to reconcile with Milhouse. The disappearance of Mo's bar rag makes him realize he has friends. Wow, that just spoiled the episode. Let's see how this all makes sense. All right, Steve?
Sounds good.
We'll be right back. We're back. Today we are talking about Mo Goes From Rags to Riches. It's the 12th episode of the 23rd season. It's episode 498 in the show's run. Original air date January 29th, 2012. The nerd code is PABF05. Written by Tim Long, directed by Bob Anderson, and Al Jean is your showrunner.
Alrighty, Tim Long. We've talked about him so much. He's from Manitoba, Canada, and he lives in Ontario. He worked for Politically Incorrect with Bill Maher, Late Show with David Letterman, and he's a consulting producer on The Simpsons. And he used to be, up until season 20, the executive producer. So he's written 35 episodes, and this is the 26th that we reviewed.
Can I just interject real quick?
Please do.
I just figured out he came up with this episode. It was when he worked at Politically Incorrect. Was the rag...
Oh, God.
The titular rag that Bill Maher would jerk off onto. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not making a joke. Steve.
No, it's true.
Explain this. Explain jerking off onto a rag to the listener.
Well, if you want to feel fancy. No. So there's been a number of stories about people who have worked for comedian, and I use that term incredibly loosely, Bill Maher, and production assistants who have said that he requires, before each record, a silk cloth in which to masturbate into. That's like kind of on his, it's probably not on his writer, but it's something that he demands. And it's I've heard this story from multiple people, and just one of the many reasons why Bill Maher is just an awful piece of shit.
Steve, I just got an email. Bill wants us on the TV show next week.
Oh, cool. We get to go on Club Random.
Yeah.
We get high and smoke cigars and be real assholes.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about the non-rich people of this country and how they're the problem, not us.
Yeah.
Don't forget to bring him a silk scarf to jerk off onto.
Right.
That's his signature.
Yes.
Well, I think we figured out this episode. So, are we done? Or are we continue?
I think so, yeah. So he started with season 10, Simpsons Bible Stories, which we can't review. But from season 11 beyond, he first did Treehouse 410, the Desperately Seeking Xena portion, which we talked about. Battlestar Galactica, he contributed to Behind the Laughter, Scattered Sense of Snow, New Kids on the Block, to name a few. But yeah, so we have, 9 episodes that we haven't talked about, including Mobile Homer, The Devil Wears Nada, Elementary School Musical, Muddy Bart, Bart Stops to Smell the Roosevelts, which is one I'm kind of excited about. That's a Chalmers-heavy episode. Sprinkle Splendor, and Ha Ha Land.
I think you forgot one big episode that's also from season 23.
Oh,
that we have not reviewed.
Oh, right. Lisa Goes Gaga.
I think once we finally do the season 23 episodes that Tim Long wrote, this one, the Gaga, and Bart Stops to Smell the Roosevelts, we should then, out of those 3, rank our order of Tim Long episodes for season 23. Because, again, we haven't watched Gaga. I mean, it's just considered a horrible episode. So I can't wait till that episode is picked with Wheel of Random. I mean, it's not picked. Yeah, we're still waiting for Lady Gaga herself, Stephanie. Right. We call her Stephanie because that's her real name.
Mm-hmm.
We're friendly that way until she's available to do the podcast.
Yeah, our schedule is just, we're busy guys. She's a busy woman. And so sometimes the things don't line up, but we'll get there eventually.
And when we do, we promised it'll be Lisa Goes Gaga and Joker Foley Ado. We'll talk only about those 2 things.
Exactly. And maybe some time to talk about her remake of the Thing with Bradley Cooper.
I am excited if she wears that famous meat dress that she wore at the one of those award shows. And I hope that she sits down on the chair, but my chair has my Steelbook 4K DVD of the movie The Menu, which is one of my favorite thriller or horror movies. And then we can say, looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
Wow. That was a journey that even Frodo would have been like, that's a little long. Hey, I made a good Lord of the Rings joke. There you go.
You knew what I was referencing.
I did, yeah.
All right. Steve, let's just begin the episode. And we have a title gag. It's a space shuttle, and it slowly climbs through the air on the side of the shuttle. Someone has written, for sale, $1. This must be a reference to a timely thing that happened, because we don't think we don't have the space shuttles anymore, do we?
No, that one, a spaceship went into retirement in July of 2011, so about 6 months before this episode was aired.
Wow. And now we have SpaceX.
Oh. And another episode of The Simpsons that I can't wait to get to.
Which, again, we are waiting till our good pal Elon has time to be on the podcast with us.
Can't wait for that. We also have a billboard gag. It's Kent Brockman, Bumbleman, and Boobarella, your Channel 6 news team.
And, Steve, guess what? There's a chalkboard gag. And it is written by Bart saying there is no proven link between raisins and boogers.
Okay. Here's my theory.
Sure.
If I may. Ralph was not in his class, but he was visiting. And he was picking his nose and eating it. And Bart happened to speak up. And he's like, well, everybody knows that raisins are just boogers. And then Mrs. Krabappel was like, well, no, there's no proven link between raisins and boogers.
Raisins are the boogers of the grape. I don't know.
Very true.
I personally like a raisin. I think they're perfectly fine.
I like a raisin. Yeah, raisins are good.
I like Raisin Bran. I like oatmeal raisin cookies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I like a rum raisin ice cream.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I'll take the rum minus the cream and raisin.
Right.
And the R in front of rum and make it a C. Then I want it.
Yum, yum.
And Steve, we have a short couch gag, right?
Yes, it's pretty simple. It just goes through the history of the sitcom. In fact, The Simpsons run through the sets of 4 iconic sitcoms. First, they go through the Honeymooners, where they're dressed as the characters. And then they go to the Dick Van Dyke Show, where Homer is Rob Petrie, and goes to kiss Marge, who is playing Laura. She points to the guests to see that it's Rosemarie and Maury Amsterdam, of course, played by Bart and Lisa. And then, of course, Homer trips over the ottoman.
Can I do a punch-up for the ottoman joke?
Totally.
It should have been like he tripped and fell on the ottoman and paused there for a second. There should have been like blood coming out of his ears. Then the family should have ran away.
Yes. And he should have also been drunk.
Well, it's Homer, so I'm assuming he's already drunk.
And it's also Dick Van Dyke.
R.I.P.
As of this recording, maybe. They run into the set of the Brady Bunch, where they're all dressed like the characters, and they run up the stairs and smile at the camera, but then Lisa gets hit in the nose by a football, creating a big bump. And then, probably my favorite, they go into the set of Cheers, where, and this is interesting, and I want to discuss this a little bit. Homer's Norm.
Wait a minute, Steve. Is this an episode of Do You Have Fears for My Cheers?
Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name.
This is our hit podcast where we talk about the sitcom where everyone knows your name. That's right, we're back, and today we're talking about the couch gag intro of The Simpsons, in which The Simpsons portray Cheers characters. So we have Homer as Norm, Marge as Diane, Lisa is Carla, Maggie is Cliff, and Sam is played by Bart.
Yeah.
What do we think about that?
So I was having a problem with that too, because the implication is that if Bart's Sam, then Diane is Marge. That means there's some big Oedipus complex going on right now. Like, why not make him Woody?
Yeah.
But then I think I'm assuming they probably had like a 5-hour discussion in the writer's room about this because like the implications, like Fox is not going to allow Bart behind a bar.
Right.
And you even see that there's a Buzz Cola in front of Bart, but famously Sam...
But to be fair, Sam doesn't drink.
Yes. Lisa's Carla, it's perfectly fine. And you have to do Norm. Yeah. You have to do Homer as Norm, because that's the similarities that we get. But it would make more sense if Homer was Sam. But then you're going to make... And if you made Bart Norm, you can still have the soda can. And just like a gray suit with like a red tie,
Yeah. It's just tough because Norm and Homer are really, it's a really good comparison. So like Homer as Norm is kind of perfect, but yeah.
Obviously, Grandpa's not part of the couch gags. Like he could have been Coach.
Mm-hmm. Hans Moleman would have been a great Phil if we were going to go all out, but Burns would have been a great Melville. I know they've already done this Cheers parody, but like now I want a full Cheers parody.
And it's almost like Bart and Lisa should be the Norm and Cliff because of their
Lisa would be a good Cliff because she's a know-it-all.
Yeah, but having Maggie be Cliff is weird because she doesn't talk, so she can't be the know-it-all.
Mm-hmm.
There's some flaws here, so I think we'll have to leave it up to our Cheers listeners to let us know at fearsforcheers@gmail.com. That's going to do it for this week. I've been Barfly Craig.
And I've been Drunk Steve. And now, as always, cheers.
And they're always glad you came.
That was a good episode.
Great episode.
I just hope they will find resolution with that couch gag.
Yeah, it was a bit of a cliffhanger, but...
They should have just like maybe discussed like instead of Cheers, they should have went to like Frasier's apartment. Then everyone could have been like Frasier character encoded. But we're not a Frasier podcast, so we'll leave it to those guys when they want to talk about it.
Yes.
And their spinoff when they get done with Cheers.
Exactly. And so finally, The Simpsons, well, also Sideshow Bob walks in and they all run away scared, which is a nice bit of synergy. And finally, they run into the set of their own show, The Simpsons, where they enter the living room and sit down and breathe a sigh of relief. So this couch gag is kind of the second-gen circus gag, because it is also the chorus line gag, because it is the one that they use the most. This is actually the third time it's been used. It was also used in How the Test Was Won, Coming to Homerica, which we talked about, and then later in Do Canada. But this specific version of it holds the distinction of having Lisa not say anything when she gets hit in the nose with a football in the Brady Bunch bit.
I like this one, and I kind of wish the whole episode, it was just them running through different TV shows and being different characters.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Let's make that an episode.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see them as in Night Court and Full House and all the great sitcoms.
So Marge is dead in Full House because she would be it would, all right, here we go. Homer is, okay, we're not doing Full House, Steve.
Krusty's Joey. And
who's Kimmy Gibbler? Is that Milhouse?
Yeah, maybe Ned Flanders. Because, like, she called him Tanrinos.
Yeah, you're right. But she was also, like, a dick to everybody.
Who's got a big dick? Ned Flanders.
Oh, wow.
He's a dick for everybody.
But Ned Flanders isn't my favorite character on The Simpsons, whereas, like, Kimmy Gibbler is my favorite character on Full House.
And I've never felt the need to punch Maggie.
What?
Michelle's annoying.
Oh, Michelle. Yeah, Maggie, Michelle. Okay, duh. Bart is definitely Stephanie.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay, let's just actually start this episode, Steve. How about that? And then finally, the episode begins. And apparently the plot of this episode is somewhat similar to the plot of the Red Violin. Is that correct?
Yes, so The Red Violin is a film that came out at a time.
Good job.
And thank you. I like to do my research.
No, to the film for coming out.
Yeah, good for you. No, it came out in 1998, very early, which is why this makes so much sense. But it's about a violin, and it follows it through time.
If I remember correctly, it was directed by Francois Girardard.
Yes, and it was written by Dana McKellar and one other.
And I remember Sam Jackson being in it.
That's right. I want this motherfucking violin in my motherfucking hand.
I think it's very safe to say with like 99% accuracy, the Red Violin will not be reviewed by the Annoyed Grunt Boys on their Patreon.
I think you are correct.
All right. Well, it's good to know that there is source material for this episode. Steve, how does the episode begin?
It begins, as it always does, at Moe's Tavern, where a town hall meeting is taking place, and there is a 2-complaint minimum inside. Homer shares his belief that God doesn't exist and thanks the crowd, asking God to bless them, though in reality he was just supposed to lead the audience in a pledge of allegiance.
Well, that makes sense, because at the end of the pledge it says, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And then Homer would be like, and speaking of this God fella, or lady, or they.
Yes, or it.
I kind of hope Pennywise the Clown is our God.
I'm banking on a giant turtle that we live on.
So Mayor Quimby thanks the bar for hosting a meeting while City Hall is being fumigated for bed bugs. Although that leads to a huge cock Ned Flanders to ask why City Hall has beds in the first place. And after a nervous look from Miss Springfield, Quimby adjourns the meeting and bangs his gavel on the jukebox, causing Lionel Richie's All Night Long to play.
So as what happens anytime that song plays, a dance party breaks out, with various Springfieldians busting all sorts of moves. Lou the Cop takes a tough stance with his billy club in hand, but then joins the rhythm of the beat. Even Lionel Richie himself is there, and Homer celebrates by dancing on the ceiling. He then opens a bottle of Duff, which, due to gravity, pours directly into Barney's mouth.
I'm going to assume that this is a parody of the music video. I've never seen it.
Oh, really? It's a earlier era, like probably 83 or 84, but yeah, pretty iconic.
Yeah, okay. I'm scrolling through the video real quick, and I see people doing what Milhouse and Bart do, that little dance there. I probably have seen this video, Steve. I honestly don't remember a lot of shit from my childhood, so
repressing a bunch.
I honestly, I think so. Like, I can't tell you, like, an early memory of mine.
Most of my memories are sitcoms.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let me try to think of the most earliest memory I have as a child. Okay. I wake up in the morning, as you do.
Mm-hmm.
No, I am trying to think, Steve. I'm trying to think of the earliest memory. Okay. All right. Here's one of the earliest memories I have as a kid, like in school. I'm just school memories are pretty good. So I got to do a report on like my family history or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out like I find out I have like Native American like heritage in my family.
That's when you were on the track team, right?
Yeah. So I'm also doing track, and I just kind of wing it and do a lot of very stereotype Indian jokes in my presentation. I even have my best friend Samuel. We gave him a nickname, and I forgot what it was. I made him even dress up like a Native American chief, and then he even went like pretty racist on it. and then my teacher was like, "That's not cool." And then I ended up going to like meet an actual Native American guy who likes to surf, I think.
Yeah,
and he gives me like a Running Bear as my Native American name because I'm on the track team. So that's a memory.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, another memory is so when I was growing up, I had a crush on my neighbor across the street.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I'm finally going to have like the courage, like, because we're ready to go to like middle school. I think the school year is about to start. And
sure.
Like, I'm like, I haven't seen her in a while. Then all of a sudden, like, she used to wear glasses, right? And we were kids, and all of a sudden she doesn't have glasses anymore. I'm like, oh man, I'm so attracted to this girl. And my friend Milhouse, Paul,
Marilyn,
I forget. Anyways, it turns out that her big brother, who everyone loved in the neighborhood, he was killed in Nam.
Oh man.
Yeah, but then we went to this park where we always went as kids, and she was crying and sad. But then I kissed her, and that's how that episode. That part of my life ended for that day. How about you? What are some of your earliest memories?
Well, it's kind of funny because when you were talking about being a track and field star, it reminded me of when I started a band with a couple of my friends. But the pressure of it was so much that I started taking caffeine pills.
Oh, this is back when you were in high school, like I was for the track stuff.
Yeah. And then also I remember a project where I had to. I was in French class and I had to make a chocolate mousse with the most beautiful little girl in the world,
who was probably like 19, and she was supposed to be 13. Yeah,
right. And then also I remember when my dad would bring old jazz musicians over. But that's kind of a hazy memory. I just remember being really sleepy most of the time.
And then the earliest memory for me is I went to a movie theater, and all of a sudden a train started to come right out of this, and I was scared.
It was very frightening, yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's just, where did we go? Oh, yeah. The Simpsons, Steve. All night long. That's where it came from. Okay.
Yes, and for our Lionel Richie purists, I do want to clarify that All Night Long and Dancing on the Ceiling are two separate songs that they combined for the reference.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we were referencing episodes of Saved by the Bell, The Wonder Years, and the train coming at you, like the first movie ever, or whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
So, Lenny loves the convenience of performing his civic duty and then being right there to enjoy a beer with his best friend, Carl. And Duffman.
And Steve also referenced The Cosby Show.
Of course, yes, I did. Duffman is delighted as well, since he can toss back a Duff Sangre de los Muertos with his BFF, Mexican Duffman, who wears 2 bandoliers of beer cans and a luchador mask, chanting his catchphrase, Hola!
Do you think that the Mexican Duffman should have had, like, his costume be red and yellow and green, or is that racist for me mentioning that? Like the Mexican flag colors?
I think that's completely fine. I think that would be, like, the least problematic part about him.
I kind of like Mexican Duffman. You know how we don't like Duffman?
Mm-hmm.
I like, because I'm imagining, like, Duff Cerveza that's, like, brewed in Mexico City.
Mm-hmm.
Probably tastes better than, like, American Duff.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. And if there's like a dark Mexican beer, those are good.
You can use the Spanish term, Steve. It's okay.
Negra. Yes.
Thank you. That's I like the Negra Modelos. Those
Mm-hmm.
in the summertime, especially if you like a frosty mug with a lime. Yeah, that or like a Dos Equis, dark ones. Yeah, I haven't had those in a long time. Anyways, we're not talking about beer yet. So all this talk of camaraderie leads Carl to ask Mo who his best friend is. And after a moment of consideration, Mo says that he recently became Facebook friends with Pepto-Bismol. Then evades the question by wiping up a spot on the bar. And then when he jokes that perhaps the bar rag is Mo's true best friend. And then all the patrons laugh.
Oof. So Bart joins in on the cruel mockery, saying that Moe's relationship with his rag is sadder than being friends with Milhouse, who happens to be standing right next to him in the bar. The young Van Houten lad is tired of such jokes, but Bart thinks it's just par for the course. He dumps his load on Milhouse, and Milhouse takes it.
Whoa, what? His load?
He dumps on Milhouse, and Milhouse takes it.
I get it.
Happily.
I just don't remember that part of the episode where he jerks off on Milhouse.
He's no Bill Maher. Bart may think that's how friendship goes, but Milhouse has had enough. He storms off declaring the friendship to be over and then takes a taxi home.
So surprised that his personal punching bag isn't crawling back to him, Bart asks Lisa, what the fuck is going on? So she explains that even a kid who wears a Finding Nemo back brace has at least some pride, adding that Bart may have finally gone too far. Bart isn't the only one making dick moves, though. One customer says he's got a job for Mo's best friend, the bar rag, and then proceeds to pour a bottle of Duff onto the bar. And then the rich Texan joins in and pours a can of oil onto the bar. So as the regulars laugh, Mo throws down his rag, which then comes to life, and a spotlight shines on that rag.
Yes, that's right. Everyone laugh at the rag. But I was not always this bestained swatch you see before you. Oh, no, gentles. We begin in early medieval France. A young peasant wife struggles to feed her family.
Maman, we are starving. Listen to the grumbling of our estomachs.
That's not your estomachs. It's some men speaking French. Now, I have work to do. Complain to your papa.
Papa, he is no help at all.
Marguerite, I leave to fight in Flanders. Stupid Flanders.
All tremble before the Duke de Springfield. That's enough.
I kind of wish that the arguing Frenchmen were the Frenchmen from the first season.
I was just thinking that, yeah. I did like the stupid Flanders joke, because Flanders is a place.
Flanders is a person, place, and a thing. Have you seen his thing?
What a noun. Oh, yeah. It's clobbering time.
It's now envision Ned Flanders having a really rocky penis. That's Jewish? Because the thing,
yeah.
Ben Grimm, is Jewish in the comic books.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Anyways, that clip, Steve, very beautiful artwork.
Yes, and of course, that rag is played by everyone's favorite celebrity anagram, Jeremy's Iron. And evidently, when he received the call to do the episode over the phone, and he was honored. And they said that the rag speaks in a very sonorous voice, and then it said, "Think Jeremy Irons." So they wanted to get a Jeremy Irons type, and so they got Jeremy Irons.
So it's like that whole Simpsons joke of like, I don't know, think of a name like Poochie. Poochie sound good? All right. So they were just like, think of Jeremy Iron. Yeah, all right, Jeremy Iron. Do you think he's aware of the anagram joke?
I doubt it. He was too busy counting his Lion King money at the time.
That's what I call President Trump's bank account, the Lion King.
Ooh.
Political humor on this podcast, Steve. And I thought you never see the day when it happens.
I know. We're a regular New Yorker in that people subscribe to us, but they never actually listen.
Thanks again, everyone.
Yes. We appreciate it.
Well, Mr. Burns, the Duke D. Springfield, asks Marge to weave a tapestry portraying Monty healing the sick, killing the healthy by chopping their heads off, him marrying his sister, a long winter where nothing happens, and Monty relaxing with friends who happen to be demons. So for the depiction of completely normal activities, Burns will pay Marge 2 copper coins. She's got 25 years to complete the task and even have one 15-minute DiGiorno.
Yes.
So she gets a pizza or just like a break?
I think it's just a break.
I would rather
Honestly, I'd rather have a 50.
pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steve, if I gave you like a task that to take 25 years to complete, do you think you could? Not this task, but just a task.
I absolutely could, whatever it is, but I guarantee you that I would start it at like 24 years and 1 month.
Okay, I'll do something simple. As of this date, I'll just say in July of 2026, you have 25 years to, let's see here, buy a plastic model kit of, let's go, the Titanic.
Okay.
I'm sure there's model kits of the Titanic. And put that together, fully painted with the decals, all that.
Sure.
Yeah, 25 years. You have 25 years to do it.
I'm on it, and I'll do you one better. I'll even watch the movie, which I've never seen.
While you put it together?
Yeah.
All right, good luck. I'll be here in 25 years.
I'll talk to you in 2051.
Oh, God, we're not going to be alive then, are we? Yeah, I think we might
No.
be. Oh, shit.
Ugh. But the country won't be here, so it's okay. And despite Craig's biting political commentary, we're not a political podcast. So Monty and Smithers leave the Simpsons homestead, but their passage is blocked by several sheep. Burns considers just taking 6 steps in the other direction, but instead decides to kill those sheep. He then offers Smithers a half-assed apology and confession of his sins, absolving him of any wrongdoing.
So was this the red violin? Was it red because of blood? And like the blood was like soaked in like the wood, and that's why it had a journey?
I think so. Maybe. Yes.
So like Ents from Lord of the Rings, the walking trees. That's what happened. This Mr. Burns character killed a tree and it bled.
I could see that, yeah.
All right. I figured out this movie. So we don't even have to watch the movie. We figured it out. I like this.
We got it down, yeah.
So as they write off, the rag narrator says that Monty just murdered the sheep, expelling their demon wool. The sheep's eyes turn to blood red, as does their coat. So Marge gets to work with the help of those damned wolves, looming in a trance, never stopping her work, even as Homer joined one battle after another. No, Steve, not the Paul Thomas Anderson Best Picture Award film. So he's returning home first without an arm, then a giant hole in his chest, and then he comes back with a soldier in that giant hole.
I like to imagine that they slungshot the other soldier and just went straight in there.
I like how when he takes a drink of wine, it pours out of the soldier's mouth. That's a good touch.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. So Marge continues to loom year after year, but not all the images were of the Duke. Instead, the tapestry showed the adventures the cloth would experience over the next few centuries. And back in the present day, at Moe's, the rag tells the audience that he was that very tapestry. A nearby Spun sarcastically claims that he was once the Gutenberg Bible.
I'm not going to make a Steve Gutenberg joke, Steve. It's already been done.
That's right.
But was there an episode of Yo MTV Cribs where they went to Steve Gutenberg's house and he's like, and here's my Bible?
Yes, I'm sure that they were clamoring for star of Police Academy and 3 men and a baby.
Don't you remember the episode? It was like, wait a minute, I smell fire. I must go rescue people.
Yes.
I'm not making a joke. I'm just,
no.
He was a hero during the LA fires of last year.
And generally speaking, considered to be a pretty good guy.
Well, you know why, Steve?
Why?
Have you seen what he's packing?
Oh.
Apparently, rumor is that Steve Gutenberg is...
As Gutenbig?
Is Gutenbig. He's a real Ned Flanders down there.
Oh.
Yeah. Even Liam Neeson would resist that police authority.
3 men and a baby arm.
Yes. That's what Angie Dickinson said. Wait, who was the one who said Liam Neeson had the Evian?
I think it was yeah.
Not
yeah.
Angie Dickinson. It was like another supermodel that had that name, Angie or Dick, something.
Andy Dick. It was Andy Dick.
Angie Everhart?
I don't want to Google who said Liam Neeson had a big dick.
All right. Well, back in historic France, Lisa and Bart, who is sporting Homer's 5 o'clock shadow, they're all older now. It's weird. He complains that they are unable to grow due to the lack of food. Marge asks if they have too little food or simply too much complaining. Lisa suggests that Marge is overworked and in need of a holiday, perhaps in the south of France. Though, as Marge yells, that's where they already are.
So one day, as a rosy-fingered Dawn wiped the morning gunk from her eyes, Burns arrived to claim his tapestry. Homer comments about the glorious state of prosthetics at the time, as he sports a wooden peg arm, an eye patch over one eye, and an apple over the other. Looking over Marge's work, Monty finds something unexpected, but beautiful. But because it's not what he expected, the Duke tells his men to burn the house down.
And burns Smithers and their lackeys right away from the burning home, just as it explodes, causing the sheep to fly into the air and also explode. As Monty is just about to arrive home, he experiences medieval hell, falling off his horse and over a cliff, where he hangs, wrapped in that tapestry.
So a crowd forms around Monty's dead, hanging body, causing Wiggum to suggest that they show some classic French courage and beat up the corpse. And Ralph joins in on the fun, but instead of whacking the human piñata, he smacks his father in the groin. Taking that nutshot in good faith, Clancy declares that they'll submit it to France's funniest cave paintings.
So the rag says that even for a tapestry made of demon wool, the scene was difficult to endure. But the cloth was moved to a delightful cathedral where he would be revered as a rock star of time, complete with a legion of what eventually would be known as groupies. So it seems like the light-hearted, pleasant days of the Dark Ages would never end until cruel fate and the Vikings came knocking on their door.
Ooh. So using Homer's head as a battering ram, those Vikings first tried to bust down the door, but then opt for the slightly softer nearby wall. And once inside, they take the friar's belt and begin whipping him with it, causing him to break his vow of silence. As the men of God quibble with each other, Homer comes to the conclusion that living a Viking's life is too hard and decides to become an art thief instead.
I do like that bit when they open or plow through the castle. He goes, "Go Vikings!" Like the
it's
football team, Minnesota Vikings.
Pretty good, yeah.
That's Steve's favorite football team.
Yep.
Wasn't when you were a kid you were a Minnesota Vikings fan? Or is it like your dad because they're from Minnesota?
My dad and my brother. One of my brothers is in the military. He's in the Navy. I don't know if you knew that, Craig. But he and his best friend would go to Viking games all the time. And yeah, I have a weird bit of Minnesota connection, even though I've never been there. Hi, Timothy.
No, I do too. My dad's side of the family came from Minnesota, so which is weird, side tangent, because I knew that your family came from Minnesota, so did some of my family. And like on my family, like I'm one of the 23andMe's, like it shows people that you're all related to, or like 15th cousins, that sort of thing. There is a couple people with your last name, so we might be like 7th cousins far removed or whatever.
Weird.
Yeah, from Minnesota.
Don't you know?
Yeah, our German ancestors swapped bratwurst with each other.
Yep. Getting my sauerkraut.
So I can finally call you a brother, but not like with the... Never mind.
Right.
Well, Homer steals the tapestry and begins to rub it between his legs when he looks down to see his own action depicted in the cloth. So the tapestry then shows itself being eaten by Homer, and he follows his faith, chowing down on that artwork. This was the first time the bar rag had truly experienced anguish and fear. And even in the present day, he fears that nothing will take that pain away. Barney then knocks over his beer, and the bar rag sops up the booze, which, that helps ease the suffering.
It always does. Later that evening, Milhouse is about to go to bed when he hears a rap upon his window. It's Bart throwing rocks to get his former best friend's attention. So Milhouse opens the window, and one of those rocks goes straight down his throat, choking him. And he coughs up the stone and then adds the quartzite, which the rock was, to his other rocks and gems. And then Milhouse asks about the nature of Bart's visit.
What is it, Bart?
Listen, after our fight, I couldn't sleep.
Well, I was doing fine. Warm glass of milk, some choice cuts from the Wriggles, and I was out.
Oh, come on, man. At least listen to what I have to say.
Okay.
Well, this is usually the part where you say you're sorry.
Bart, I'm not your puppet.
I know. I made you into a real boy last week.
And I'll always be grateful. But it's time you started treating me with respect.
They're a tough pair, huh? If you let me in, I'll give you the Heimlich.
So, to recap, I had been unjustly torn from my lofty perch. I wound up as a barter in Persia.
You have taken our gold and jewels and given us this faded cloth.
That's right, and if anyone asks who swindled you, it was Christians. Remember that name? Christians.
Good message all around. It's always the Christian's fault.
Couldn't agree more.
I do like the detail of Bart, like in his pajamas, his crusty pajamas, and he's barefoot. I don't know. There's something like very childlike about this. And I do like that line. It's so weird. Like, I made you a real boy last week, and I was like, yeah, I'm grateful for it. So it's like, what were they playing? Were they playing Pinocchio? And was Bart just like, you're not real, you know? No one knows you're real. They think you're fake. And Bart being that type of kid who would convince another child that they're not real. Like, there was kids like that.
I mean, he's already convinced him that he sold him his soul and that he had a goldfish, so it makes sense. Also, I think it's interesting that last week we revisited 3 Gays of the Condo, and I know we don't like to date these episodes, but Milhouse showed off his rock tumbler, and here he has a bunch of rocks.
Pretty cool. And this episode also kills Luann. She's dead.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she'd rather be dead than hang out with Kirk.
Look, I get it, Luann. I get it. I'm here with you. I will die with you.
I think most people would.
With me or with Luann?
With you.
Okay. Well, Steve, the rag found himself among a cruel king who demanded constant entertainment from his many wives. That king is Nelson. And one of those wives is Janie, who spins several plates and then pulls a camel out of Nelson's hat. And then pulls Nelson and his hat out of the mouth of the camel. That doesn't prove to be enticing enough, so Nelson orders Janie to be thrown in the pit of boring wives. She joins many other discarded women such as Cherry O'Terry, Samantha Stinky, and Princess Jasmine. How do you feel about like this part of the episode of like the kids are being the...
It's a little weird. Yeah.
Like, especially you see Janie, like, dancing seductively for Nelson in the beginning of the clip. Like, I don't know about this. It's weird. I know it's cartoons, but it's for the jokes. But, I don't know, depicting, like, children. Well, they did in the Simpsons Bible story, but not, like, in this manner.
Right. This one is weird because it feels less like a trilogy-type episode, even though it basically is. And so, yeah, it's a little strange. But, Servant Jimbo comments that Nelson has already thrown roughly 500 wives away, but Nelson thinks it's weird that Jimbo's keeping track. And then the next spouse is called, and it's Lisa, who bows and says that Nelson's slippers are just as curly as everyone says they are. And Nelson is all ready to add her to the pit, but Lisa thinks quickly and offers up a tale of her own.
Wait! I can, tell you a story.
Cease your dragging!
There once was a boy named Ali Baba. He and his elder brother Kasim were the sons of a merchant who traded in camels and spices and...
Okay, just a couple thoughts on your direction so far.
One day, while out for a walk, Ali Baba was set upon by a thief. Make that 2 thieves. 1,000,000 thieves.
Hooray!
40 thieves.
With her inventiveness and wit, the clever wife entertained her king for 1,001 nights. And while he slept, she freed her imprisoned compatriots.
I like Nelson's varying degrees of emotional yawning, like he's interested or not. He's like, ah.
That's some elaborate shadow puppetry from good old Maggie's older sister, Lisa.
And I don't think she gets to finish her story, but eventually Alibaba would just go to sell cheap Chinese crap online.
Yeah, I love getting my counterfeit baseball jerseys from Alibaba. Lisa lowers a ladder into the hole, offering escape for the discarded wives, such as Mr. Teeny, who kisses Lisa on the cheek. When Shauna makes her way up, she declares that it was cooler in the pit. I think that's the same thing Noah Wiley said. Instead of redoing his NBC show ER, because the creators didn't want him to continue ER, so he just did the pit instead, and it's just ER.
It's a better show.
Yeah. Okay. I haven't watched the pit or ER. I'm just basing my comments off of pop culture.
And you're right.
Does the ER ever drain a dude's boner of blood?
I don't think so.
The pit does.
That's right.
Steve, do you actually see the boner?
You do.
All right. That's it for this episode. I'll be right back. But is it painful looking?
Yeah.
All right. This episode of the Annoying Grant Boys 130 Simpsons podcast is sponsored by Blue Chew.
Life is hard. Should you be too?
Men, boner up.
Oh, I like that.
All right. Lisa then returns to Nelson just as he wakes up demanding another story.
So Lisa wonders if Nelson could take a few moments to digest the story before wanting another. And Nelson is actually offended by her insolence, but when he calls for his guards, his former wives present the heads of Nelson's minions on silver platters. They then proceed to behead Nelson himself, and that's the end of that story.
I want to see minions' heads on silver platters.
Yes.
Sorry, Bob, you're dead. Is that one of the minions' names? Those little yellow things?
Banana. That's a thing, right?
There you go. Yeah. Well, thus continued the downward spiral of that bar rag who traveled from Persia to Babylon, then Athena to Carthago, and then ended up in Spain. The map graphic with Blinky is a nice touch. You know, little Blinky, the little fish guy.
Mm-hmm.
So the rag finds himself as a blindfold being used by a man who feels that blindfolds are for cowards until he sees that he's about to be executed by 4 archers. So the rag is then used to protect the neck of the man about to get his head chopped off.
And though existence seemed bleak for the rag, he was offered a glimmer of hope, assisting Michelangelo, the non-turtle one, as he painted the creation of Adam on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. Pontiff Lovejoy asks the artist, who's played by Julio, interestingly enough, when he'll be done, and Michelangelo responds that if you want a quickie, you go to Raphael, baby. And again, we're not talking about Ninja Turtles.
I wish we were.
Mm-hmm.
So years go by and Michelangelo, not the Ninja Turtle, is still hard at work painting the chapel, still unsatisfied with the results. So after even more time passes, Michelangelo is done, and Lovejoy finds the artwork to be perfect. Michelangelo offers to protect the piece with a clear coat, but the man of God has to talk it over with the non-existent wife, which is a very funny joke because he's a priest. He's not married. So with the masterpiece completed, the bar rag had no more use.
Oh, back at Moe's, the rag is stepped on by patrons until Lenny picks it up, suggesting that Moe get a new one. Moe is agreeable, but once alone with the cloth, he tells old Raggy that he could never abandon him. He tearfully says that the rag is his best friend, just as the Great Pumpkin Waltz plays, evoking Linus and his beloved blanket. And then a rat on the bar drops the ashtray in its mouth, shocked to see Moe rubbing his rag on his face. The rodent then coughs up the special cheese that Moe left out on the bar that failed to kill it.
I was assuming the rat was like, I want more cigarettes because he dropped an ashtray off. Nope. That's where he put the poisoned cheese. Okay. Well, once again, Bart visits Milhouse in his bedroom and begins to take his pants off and get into bed with Milhouse. And, I watched a wrong episode, Steve. I meant he goes into Milhouse's bedroom in the middle of the night, and this time, as Milhouse is fast asleep, cuddling with his puppy Goo-Goo, Bart asks just what he needs to do. Besides, probably from changing his behavior in any way. So to get his once best friend to forgive him, saying that Bart is acting rather Milhousey, Milhouse feels that Bart will never learn his lesson, but Bart reads a meaningful message. Let's take a listen to that message.
Milhouse, you're the closest thing I have to a brother with the wisdom of an older sister. And that's why we squabble, 'cause families always do. But in the end, they're still a family. What do you say, brother? Not bad. Did Lisa write that?
Yes, I did. Now I'm going to bed.
I want something that comes from you, Bart. We're done here. But, the glasses are off.
My degradation continued. An enterprising seamstress turned me into the flag of a fledgling nation. Unfortunately, a nation on the wrong side of history.
I like how in Milhouse's bedroom, which we don't really see that much. I mean, he has got a Radioactive Man poster. It's fine. But I like how he's a Sideshow Mel poster because he's kind of like Bart's sidekick. Whereas Bart has like Krusty posters. Although he does have like I Heart Krusty bumper sticker. But still, I think it's funny that he's got a Sideshow Mel.
He also is a Trekkie. He has an Enterprise hanging there too. So yeah, it does feel very Milhouse coded. Like I think it's a nice touch that you mentioned. I didn't really think about that, but it's having Sideshow Mel because he would be more of a Mel guy.
Steve, your mission of building the Titanic model has now changed. You got to build a model of the Starship Enterprise instead. You have 25 years to do it.
Okay, I'll get on that.
All right. And in the meantime, okay, 25 years. That's easy. I want you to also do what the rag did at the end of the clip. And I want you to sew a Confederate flag for me.
Well, I mean, I can just grab one of my many that I have hanging in my closet, but I'll get you a new one.
I want a hand-sewn one.
I do like that gag of, like, Milhouse is like, did Lisa write this? And then Bart turns around and Lisa is there. And then Lisa turns around and Maggie's on her back. It's a fun visual gag.
And responsible for, I guess, was she babysitting Maggie? Or just like, you know what? No, because they're asleep. Like Marge is going to get up if Maggie is crying at night. Huh.
I don't know why either one of them are there. Like, all Lisa just wants to take credit, but yeah, I don't know why Maggie had to be there.
Right. Well, she has a crush on Milhouse. Yeah. We all know it.
Of course. So the proud seamstress that you mentioned holds up that Confederate flag, which is then hung in the house as Union soldier Hibbert busts in, setting the house aflame with his trademark chuckle. The rag then continues his sad tale, describing his experience during the Great Depression.
So in a rundown shack, Homer returns to his impoverished family after a hard day of labor. When Bart asks his mother, "What's for dinner?" Marge responds with a southern drawl, saying, "Rag soup." Homer takes a taste and finds that the soup is lacking flavor, so he slices a corn from his foot and adds it to the bowl, which seems to help. Now, when I watched this, Steve, I gagged. That was so fucking gross.
It is really disgusting.
There's like a few episodes of The Simpsons that make me go, close my eyes and go, ugh. It's this one, and then an episode we reviewed way early on our run of the show called Scorpion's Tail. There was just a lot of like gross eye stuff in that. So I don't know how you felt about
those two are really
thing.
disgusting. Another one is when Homer has another eye issue and gets his eyes crushed over. Also disgusts me, but this is up there, like, as disgusting things. Feet are gross. I'm sorry. I don't like feet. And so to cut off a corn and put it into your soup to eat is disgusting.
Now we like the plant corn in soups, but not from your toes.
Yes, and the band, also pretty gross. I don't really care for them.
Yeah, I don't want them in my soup. They don't even know how to spell, you know? They're stupid.
So the rag joins an expedition to reach the top of Mount Everest, but Homer can't plant his rag flag at the top since he's running out of oxygen. Coincidentally, Bart is just a few steps away using an oxygen tank to fill up balloons that say "We made it" printed on them. And then in a hot air balloon floating by, comic book guy declares, "Worst climbing Everest."
Okay, so a Yeti finds the rag in the snow and brings it to his son as a gift. And in the snowy cave, we learn that the young child is Mo, who is instantly smitten with that rag. We then return to the present day where Mo is fast asleep, holding the rag close to his face, and the rag feels that his millennia-long fall from grace is finally complete. He's ready to accept a sad, predictable fate, but just then, a mysterious hand takes that rag away, leaving it to wonder what could be worse than Mo. So if we're to assume that Mo is part Yeti, who are the Homer and Bart that's on Everest?
That is...
Are those supposed to be Simpsons family? From who are they?
Well,
I don't get it.
It's confusing because, like, I mean, in all of the segments, are they Simpsons? That's what you got to ask.
Yeah. Is that supposed to be like a Mo ancestor instead of Mo?
Let's see, like...
We do eventually meet Mo's parents, so it's not like...
Right.
I know the joke is because he's like an ugly beast. So, of course, he'd be part Yeti.
Right, but it would make sense that that would be a Mo relative, like...
Yeah.
His, like, great whatever.
Or just grandfather.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
that would make sense.
Start climbing Everest. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to think it's sad, but
yeah.
it's not. All right.
So the next morning, Milhouse steps out of his house to grab the early edition of the Daily Fourth Gradian, which I don't want to get too caught in the weeds here, but like, one, it's weird that a school newspaper delivers, but also just the fact that the Fourth Gradian is a daily newspaper. Like, what do fourth graders have to report about every day?
Funny enough, though, I like that joke.
Yeah, no,
it's funny.
It is funny. It just is. Yeah. When Bart pops out of the bushes, saying that he's been there all night, eager to make amends, Bart is willing to do anything, and he means anything, to get Milhouse's forgiveness.
He wanted to be there all night long.
All night.
Milhouse first asks if he could punch Bart, and Bart agrees. So Milhouse then asks if he could get someone else to punch him, and Bart accepts the terms, assuming it's Puppy Goo Goo. It would be coming his way, but instead it's Dedrick Tatum arriving and pounds Bart harder than he's ever been pounded before. So after all of that, things seem to be back to normal. Meanwhile, Mo searches high and low for his rag, unaware that it's in a dryer at 742 Evergreen Terrace.
I'm glad it's over. I wasn't comfortable having the upper hand. From now on, I'll dominate you in ways you don't realize. That's all I ever wanted.
Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Hey, Chief Wiggum, can you help me find my ball rag? I can't even find my car in the parking lot at the mall. There was half a kilo of heroin and 2 suspects inside. Can you throw me my house key, please? It's got a green thingy on it. Stop! Ooh. Hey, there's some Pringles in here. Nope, tear gas. Haven't forgotten about your rag, Mo.
I'm in hell. I'm in hell. I'm in hell. I'm in hell. Perhaps one of you garments would like to narrate for a while. Men's extra large underwear?
I'm saving my strength. He's going bike riding today.
Steve, can I propose a prequel to this episode?
All right.
So you know how like our faces are on our podcast logo, but Simpsonized?
Mm-hmm.
Can we convince the Simpsons writers that we're the 2 dirtbags that were arrested by Wiggum and we're the ones who stole the heroin and the car? So that's our arms shooting the guns in the air.
I like this. I hadn't thought about that. That's really good.
Okay, so it's only us declaring it, but that's canon now. That's the Annoyed Grub Boys taking the Wiggum's car and the heroin.
That's right. We stole the heroin and stole the car.
And Steve, here's a can of Pringles for you.
Oh, good. Ah! Oh, tear gas.
Yeah, it's gross. It's actual Pringles. I think they're nasty. Yeah. Would you rather have tear gas?
Yeah, probably. Bart's line about dominating Milhouse. Kind of weird.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like that. I think that's the joke.
Yeah.
And the Homer's Tidy Whitey's talking. I hate Tidy Whitey's. I've talked about it before.
Yeah.
Ugh, gross.
Honestly, and also, I don't know about Homer's lifestyle, but I'm guessing him going bike riding is probably the least gross thing that those underpants have seen.
Right. I just don't see Homer being a great wiper. That's all.
Yeah, I agree. So as Marge is bringing up the laundry, Mo rings the doorbell. Poking his head inside, Mo instantly spots his beloved rag, but he isn't sure how it got into Marge's hands. So she explains that the town hall meeting, which seemed to happen a long time ago at this point, Marge forgot her purse at the bar, and so when she came back to get that purse, she saw how much that rag meant to Mo. Feeling that it was a little ripe, Marge decided to wash it.
Well, Mo thanks Marge for her good deed, saying that the rag is the only friend in the world. But Marge replies that everyone of The Simpsons is a friend. Lisa walks in to add that his bar is the closest thing this town has to an Algonquin round table, But then Mo asks about the Round Table Pizza run by the Algonquin guy. And Lisa admits that Mo's is a close second, and all this kindness causes a change of heart in good old Mo.
So yous all like me? Even you, Maestro?
Milhouse.
Yeah, I knew it was something stupid. Well, thanks, everybody. I'm always going to remember today as the day that I learned to open my heart to human beings and not old pieces of cloth. Crazy me, thinking I needed a rag for a friend.
So this is how it ends. The once magnificent tapestry tossed aside yet again like a common Kleenex. Goodbye, cruel... What the...
I like how he calls Milhouse Maestro. That's a fun name for Milhouse.
Yeah, and like I know that most people in Springfield know everyone's name, much like Cheers. But Marge Mo will call Marge Midge. But yeah, calling Milhouse Maestro is very funny. So Santa's little helper grabs the discarded rag and carries him to the doghouse. The rag has never felt such love and affection as he gets from the dog, saying that it's sweet, pure, and forever. Then time passes, and Santa's little helper and Maggie use the rag to play tug of war, but all Marges have their ups and downs, and that's how the episode ends.
Much like an elevator, Steve.
Indeed.
Ups and downs.
Yes.
Right. See, I say we take a little break, come back, and wrap this episode up. How about that?
Sounds great.
We'll be right back. All right, we are back. Let's wrap up this week's episode. Mo goes from rags to riches. I'm just trying to think of the title, Steve. Does he go? I guess the riches of friendship is the riches he learns at the end.
I think so. I think that's the truest gift of them all.
Steve, you're no rich to me.
Well, you're no
rag
to me.
Okay. So yeah, let's do what we do on this part of the episode. We'll talk about some of our favorite scenes and jokes, maybe find a most valuable jokester, give it a review, find out what we're watching next week. But before all that, of course, we like to find things in the episode that would be a cool product to give to our co-host and maybe to other people in the world. We're a capitalism podcast, if anything.
Money.
We want to go from podcast to riches. So we point out things that should be products, mostly just to make us laugh, because certainly the Simpsons writers can't do it. I got you some gifts, and I think you're going to like them. I got you another can of Pringles, but this time it is actually tear gas. And I don't want to give you a rag. I'm not giving you a rag. That's just too easy. But I got you a new eye patch, 2 eye patches. One is an apple, and here's a wood peg for an arm. So if you ever lose body parts, you got them right there.
Good to know. I am, brand loyal to Apple, so that's good.
I also went to the local farm and stabbed 3 sheep and brought you their bloody corpse for you to make some tapestry with. I got you some Mexican duff. I know you're not a big drinker, but it's still the summertime. And there's nothing better, Steve, nothing better than sitting outside on a nice summer day with a cerveza with that lime on it. Or how about a margarita? But I like the reverse margarita, so here's a cup of salt with a margarita rim.
Ooh, margarita is Mexican for Marge.
Steve, you also get Bart's crusty pajamas, which sounds really gross, but no, crusty clown pajamas. I thought you'd like them. That actually would be with us millennials. To wear like onesies, pajamas. Give us actual crusty, adult-sized Krusty the Clown pajamas. Us fuckers would buy them. Gen X millennial kids, fuck yeah, they would. Sorry, I'm swearing a lot on this fucking podcast. What else do you want, Steve? I got you a hole to throw your 500 wives in if you get sick of them. And here's an 8-year-old Janie dancing for you.
Ooh la la.
And finally, what you've been wanting the whole time. Last 2 gifts. some more food here. Here's rag soup with some corn from my feet.
Mm-hmm.
And to shade that sun coming in through your windows, I didn't get you drapes. I just got you Confederate flags to put up over your windows. So there you go. There's your gifts.
Wow, thank you. Well, there was going to be some overlap, but I got you a bunch of stuff. So thank you, first of all, for all that. It's very nice of you. I got you the complete work of Lionel Richie with a added bonus DVD of all his music videos, so you can catch up on that and your childhood memories. I got you a sponge that actually was once the Gutenberg Bible.
Oh, I was hoping you actually got me Steve Gutenberg's Bible, and that's fine.
I got the Police Academy Bible from the High Tower all the way down to the Bobcat Coldwade.
There was a short-lived live-action Police Academy TV show, so they probably did have a show Bible.
That's true, and they also was an animated series.
Right. Which I don't think people know about the animated series, but I don't think people knew about the live-action series.
Which I used to love, actually. I don't know if I loved it. I watched it.
Is this an episode of Are You Policing My Academy?
I think so.
All right, Steve, we're watching my favorite scene in the first Police Academy movie. It's when the commandant gets a blowjob from the sex worker.
While standing at a podium, yep.
Yeah. He's not alarmed. He's like, wait, okay, I'll just keep doing my speech while I get a blowjob. Anyways, that's a good episode.
Yeah, great stuff. I also got you a tank of oxygen, so if you're climbing Mount Everest. And, you were kind enough to get me Bart's crusty pajamas, so I thought I'd return the favor, and I got you Homer's crusty tidy whities.
I hate you even more than I hate Milhouse.
Wow, didn't think that was possible, but here we are.
Tell us what you thought of this episode. Was there some favorite scenes? Do you have some jokes you liked? Most valuable jokester, and all in all, give us a ranking.
Yeah, I think my favorite joke, if I had to pick one joke, it would probably be the Algonquin Round Table joke. It's just stupid and fun. I like the visuals of Janny pulling the camel out of Nelson's hat, then pulling the Nelson out of the camel with his hat still on, and the cartoon logic of Lisa being behind Milhouse, or being behind Bart, and Maggie being behind Lisa. Those jokes work for me. Yeah, and I think if I had to give a most valuable jokester, I also liked Homer, the Go Vikings thing. That was funny. And I liked Julio as Michelangelo. I think it's an interesting choice. Mo will probably be my MVJ for the episode. But this episode, I am confused by. It's weird that in 2012 we're making a parody of a seldom seen independent flick called The Red Violin. Talking about it with you, as is often the case, I enjoyed it more than I did just watching it. I don't see a situation where I feel the need to walk back and watch this episode. I appreciate the fact that it's all about friendship. I like that. And I like that they padded a trilogy story that would have been otherwise pretty weak with the Bart and Milhouse subplot. I kind of feel like, and this might sound silly, but the emotional stake between the Rag and Mo is never really established. Sure, Grandpa Mo gets it as a kid in the Yeti, but we never know why Mo cares so much about the Rag. And that kind of bothers me. And I don't know, this episode is full of interesting ideas that I kind of don't really care about. I think they tried hard and they made something. I just don't like what they made that much. So this is going to be a skip for me. I think it's ambitious, but it ultimately doesn't work for me. And so if I had to give it a numerical ranking, the movie in which it inspired it, The Red Violin, has a 73% on Rotten Tomatoes. So out of that 73%, I'm going to give this a 25. What are your thoughts, Craig?
It's interesting you started off saying, when I'm reviewing this episode and talking to you about it, I like it more. What part of me talking about this episode made you think I liked it? Could you not tell?
Here's what I'll say, is this episode is all about friendship. And I think the bond of the friendship that we have on this podcast, I enjoy that camaraderie. And so it means that I get to talk to you about this episode, and then I never have to think about it again.
I knew going into this that Simpsons fans aren't fans of this episode. It's literally like an IMDb is like a 5.2 out of 10. That's a very low ranking episode. But I always want to go into an episode with, not being influenced by that. But this episode, I'm going in, and the beginning of the episode, I'm thinking I'm here for it. Like, I thought the beginning, minus the couch gag, of course, but like the town hall, the way it starts off, there's a town hall meeting of Moe's, which is a very funny concept, and with the scenes, like you're saying, like Homer is going off about God, and like thinks you're supposed to do the Pledge of Allegiance. That it started off funny. I'm like, okay, we're off to a good start. And there are some good scenes in it. I think what I really loved was when the Confederate flag scene, and you just see a Union soldier played by Dr. Hibbert burning this Confederate house down, and he does his signature laugh. That was great. The grossness of that soup, of course, but the B story of Milhouse and Bart and their friendship is what I want from an episode. I want that to be the A story, and I think what you were kind of saying with the trilogy type of story, and this does have that kind of trilogy story because there's the old France stuff, and then Middle East storyline, and then you do like a quick Depression era story with the Everest story, which I think seems they were just trying to wrap up like how far is this rag going. So it's almost like in the writer's room they had a board up with ideas like Bart and Milhouse's friendship, ? And then someone just like, I watched this movie from 98 called The Red Violin. What if we just did something like that about friendship? Yeah, let's do that. And we're already in like the halfway through, not even halfway. Yeah, halfway through the season. This is the 12th episode of that season. And what was the production number? Like, where does this place? Like, PABF 05. So I'm assuming that's the 5th produced episode for the PABF production code. So it's like the 5th one. This feels like they were out of juice already and just threw something to the wall. I think that's what's difficult about this is this also feels like before Disney Plus specials, this could be a Disney Plus special. Because it has that kind of like weird non-canon feel to it where I feel like these kind of stories, like, I don't know, it's a very much of a filler episode. The Bart and Milhouse stuff, I wanted more of that. Like, I'd get rid of the Mo Rag part. I like how we got Jeremy Irons. That's great. And you're right. The scene at the end with Mo is fine. Mo could be the MBJ. And the scene with, actually, I'm going to give it to Wiggum. Wiggum is my MBJ, by the way. That whole scene with the cops, the cop car, and our characters in that cop car with the heroin. Yeah. It's a very funny scene. So there is like 3 or 4 good scenes, but it's all dealing with like the modern day stuff and not the stories that we're learning. So I understand why fans don't like this episode. It's not that it's like this like egregious, like in your face horrible episode. Like I'm trying to think of like an episode that's just so bad. Without having watched it recently, I'm going to assume I'm going to rather watch this than I'm going to want to watch the Elon Musk episode. And that's mostly because of personal reasons why I don't want to watch the Elon Musk episode. Because he's our friend. I don't want to, insult him if I don't like the episode. I'm just too nervous. Yeah. It's like if you were to do a play, Steve, I don't want to go to it because it's going to suck. I just don't want to tell you I enjoyed it when I know I won't. That being said, Steve on Broadway in Steve the Musical. It's about Steve Gutenberg.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
Well, you play his penis. Josh Gad plays Steve Gutenberg, so... Anyways, back to this episode, Steve. So yeah, obviously I'm not a fan of this episode. I tried to give it the benefit of the doubt, but ultimately a skip. I don't recommend watching it, even if you're a completist. It doesn't really bring anything to the table. I guess the only thing that I think is great is just maybe the Bart Milhouse stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, maybe there's a fan edit of this episode out there that's only 2 minutes long. Oh, another thing interesting about this episode, they have a long introduction, couch gag, yet this whole episode feels like it drags on and on and on.
It's funny when you mention that because I was thinking about if this were a Disney Plus special, they might have crammed it out to 45 minutes. So we can be thankful that didn't happen.
Yeah. Well, if I'm going to give this a ranking, and I'm going to, I will also bring up the Red Violin. But I went to Letterboxd. I just read some of the popular reviews of the film Red Violin. And the top one is a 1.5 star review by Greasy Sig. I'm not sure who that is, but great name. And it says, how do you even fuck while still playing a violin? All right. I guess there's some fucking going on. This one from Joseph Kidney, 2 stars. What if Forrest Gump was a violin? So yeah, I'll give this episode the Forrest Gump of The Simpsons.
That's accurate. I like it.
All right, Steve. I'm glad we finally got one considered horrible episode out of the way. And I will truly say that I am an annoyed grunt boy for watching this episode.
Yes, I am also another annoyed grunt boy.
All right, Steve, I hope this isn't annoying to you. I know we're in the dog days of summer, as one would say. But this is
Bart.
Steve. This is it for us. And our final spring cleaning of 2026. We're done spring cleaning. We're done going back to our old episodes after next week, because we are going to review our 10th episode that we ever reviewed. And that episode is from season 11, which we haven't talked about season 11 in like a year, because we've already completed season 11. That's right. We're doing season 11, episode 3. Guess who's coming to criticize dinner? This is one of our favorites. So spoilers, we like this episode. That's our review. We already know we're going to like this episode, but it has been 7 years since we've watched it. So maybe we don't like it anymore. Who knows?
Either way, that episode is all about food, and it'll be a good palate cleanser from this pile of shit that we watched today.
That's right. If you don't remember, it's about this. Homer affects the way trendy people eat when he becomes a local food critic while he starts giving restaurants bad reviews. Steve, would you say to our listeners to poo-poo this episode?
I think they should wait a couple hours.
All right. That's going to do it for this week, everybody. Thanks again for listening and watching this episode with us. It means a lot, but
yes,
it would mean a lot more if you all would just join our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/annoyedgruntboys. That's $5 a month. And there you will hear a bonus episode of the Annoyed Grunt Boys every week. In fact, coming up, we will have an episode from season 1 of The Simpsons, a Golden Age episode. That's exciting. You could hear at least one Golden Age episode review a month. You could also hear us talk about a TV show that might have a connection to The Simpsons, and a movie might have a connection to The Simpsons. So we talk about a movie or TV show, or we just be the Annoyed Grunt Boys, where we talk about all things pop culture.
Great stuff. And hey, and reach out to us on the socials, like your Instagram or your threads at 138simpsons. And you can always email us at 138simpsons@gmail.com.
And leave a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever podcasts reviews are left. Or if you don't want to leave a review on a podcast app, leave a review on another app, or go to your local bakery and leave a review on their wall, or leave a review on Yelp. I don't care. Leave a review for this episode. Not this episode, this podcast. It doesn't have to be a real review, of course. Just give us 5 stars or the equivalent, and let us know the journey your rags have led.
Yes. And hey, we don't want you wearing rags, because you should be wearing cool clothes. And, you can do that by going to tpublic.com/user/annoyedgruntboys and get yourself some awesome 138th Simpsons swag. We got all kinds of great stuff, so check it out.
All right. Thanks for listening again, everyone. I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Craig.
And I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Steve.
And remember, I made you into a real boy last week.
I'm in hell, I'm in hell, I'm in hell, I'm in hell.
I'm glad it's over.